Welcome to my channel Karma Romance Stories. Please like, subscribe for more videos.
Have you ever worked for years to build something with your own hands only to have your own family tell you that someone else deserved it more? That is exactly what happened to me. The day I bought my dream home should have been the happiest day of my life. Instead, my father stood in my living room and demanded that I hand the keys to my younger sister because she was his favorite child. He believed I would surrender just like I always had. But he never expected that I had one folder of paperwork hidden in my desk. The moment I placed those papers on the table, my father's smile disappeared. Within minutes, my entire family realized the truth they had ignored for years. Stay until the end because what happened next shocked everyone. For most of my life, I believed hard work would eventually earn my father's respect. I was the oldest child, and from a young age, I was expected to sacrifice everything for my younger sister. If she wanted something, I was told to share. If she made mistakes, I was expected to fix them. Every birthday, every holiday, and every family gathering reminded me that she came first. While my friends enjoyed weekends, I worked after school. I saved every paycheck. I studied late into the night and earned scholarships because I knew nobody would pay for my education. My sister, on the other hand, never worried about bills because my parents covered everything. Years passed and I built a successful career. I invested carefully. I avoided debt. I skipped expensive vacations because I had one dream. I wanted to own a home that nobody could ever take away from me. Finally, that day arrived. I signed the closing documents and held the keys to my beautiful new house. Walking through those empty rooms filled me with pride because every wall, every window, and every brick represented years of sacrifice. I invited my parents and sister for dinner, hoping we could celebrate together. Instead, my father walked through every room silently while my sister admired the kitchen and the large backyard. After dinner, my father cleared his throat. He looked directly at me and said, "Your sister needs this house more than you do. She has children and deserves a better life. You should transfer the property to her." For a moment, I thought he was joking. I laughed. Nobody else laughed. My father repeated himself with complete seriousness. He told me family comes first, and I had always been the responsible one. My sister sat quietly, pretending to feel uncomfortable, but she never once told him to stop. I refused immediately. I explained that I had worked for years to buy this house and nobody had contributed a single dollar. My father's face turned red. He accused me of being selfish. He reminded me that he had raised me. Then he made the threat he believed would scare me forever.
He said, "If you refuse, then do not expect anything from my will." The room became silent. He believed those words would force me to surrender. Instead, I calmly stood up. I walked to my office. I opened a locked drawer. Inside was a folder containing documents I had spent months collecting. When I returned, I placed the folder directly in front of him. I asked him to read every page before speaking again. The first document showed every financial transfer I had secretly made over the previous 10 years. Every emergency payment. Every mortgage payment for my parents. Every medical bill. Every unpaid credit card balance. Every repair on their home. Every dollar had come from my account. The total shocked everyone. My sister stared at the pages without saying a word. Then my father reached another document. It showed that while I had been paying family expenses, my sister had secretly taken large amounts of money from our parents' savings. She had promised to repay it. She never did. Another document revealed unpaid loans she had hidden from everyone. There were collection notices, legal letters, overdue balances. My father looked confused. He kept turning pages. Then came the final document. It proved that I had quietly purchased the family home years earlier after helping my parents avoid foreclosure. The ownership records showed that legally I already controlled the property through a financial agreement they had signed during a difficult time. My father had completely forgotten. He thought he still owned everything. His hands began shaking. He realized the person he threatened with inheritance was actually the one who had protected the family from losing everything. Nobody spoke for several minutes. My sister finally admitted she expected our parents to pressure me because she believed I would never refuse. She confessed she had never intended to pay anyone back. My father looked at me with tears in his eyes. For the first time in my life, he apologized. He admitted he had always favored my sister because he believed she needed more help. But instead of helping her become responsible, he had enabled years of poor decisions. I listened quietly. Then I told him something I had waited decades to say. Love should never require one child to sacrifice everything while another receives endless rewards. Real fairness means accepting responsibility for your own choices. I stood up and handed him one final paper. It was a letter stating I would continue helping only if every future financial decision remained transparent and equal. No more favoritism. No more secret demands. No more emotional blackmail. Weeks later, my sister sold many expensive possessions to repay part of her debts. She found a full-time job and slowly rebuilt her finances.
My father began treating both of us equally for the first time. As for me, I stayed in the house I had earned 3 years of determination. Every morning, when I unlocked my front door, I remembered one lesson. Never allow guilt to steal what discipline has built. Sometimes the strongest act of love is refusing to reward unfairness. That day my father believed he could control my future with one threat. Instead, the truth changed everything. Respect cannot be demanded. It must be earned. Family should never mean sacrificing your dignity for someone else's comfort. Standing up for yourself may feel painful in the moment, but it can become the beginning of real change.